Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Force for Girls Live. I'm Ricardo.
I'm Michelle.
And I'm Courtney. And thank you.
And
Yeah.
yes, go ahead, Courtney. I cut you
Oh,
off every single time.
thank you for joining us. We have a really exciting show for you today, and it is Friday, and we are very thankful to have you.
Yes, breast cancer awareness, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Breast cancer awareness. So we want to share an epic story from a phenomenal lady. Her name is Yasmine, mother of two, Miss Minnesota, turned a nurse to a model slash actress. With her story's gonna get you guys. Her story's gonna get you. Here we go. Welcome, Yasmine. Hi,
Hello.
Yasmine.
Oh, thank you.
Hi.
Thank you.
How are you?
Oh, fabulous. Fabulous. Grateful. Yeah. How are you guys doing?
Good, good.
Excited.
Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome.
Same, grateful.
Yes. Miss Minnesota, right? Tell us a little bit about Miss Minnesota. What was that about?
Yeah. So it was about, I'm a spontaneous person and I don't know, but you know how you have, if you have kids, mommies out there, you have that, I don't know, the baby, post baby weight and belly and all that you want to shed. But I started having children and really just, beautiful blessings. But my youngest daughter, I have two girls, is Ava, and she is just the kind of child that wears her heart on her sleeve. And I was an inner city Chicago kid growing up. And I think when you're an inner city kid, you just have that tough skin and thick skin and that resilience that you need to kind of survive this. Not to say I'm a street kid, but the everyday life. And so I realized that if I could actually feel more and allow myself to break through that, and and the unfortunate thing is I held that wall through everything, through my relationships, through simple as watching movies, not allowing myself to cry. I think I held on to it a little too tight for sure and held it through all those elements of life. And I just realized through my daughter who just cries to cry. And then she's like, she literally cries every day today. And she says, Mommy, I just need to cry. And so she cries and she's like, that was good. And then I was like, who does that? And I was like, tears shedding, that's weak. Like, why do you have to feel compelled to do this? But then I was realizing, God, if I just actually allowed myself to feel more, that I would be a better mom, that I would be a better wife, that I would be a better daughter and a better friend, and a better just human being walking this earth. So I went on the journey of trying to allow more into this heart. And I thought, why not do it with a pageant? Some people have fitness goals and run marathons. This is mine. This was my marathon. But it was crazy because I decided to do it 3 months before the pageant. So most people, when you're doing a marathon, you have months and months of preparation, and it's not that different than pageantry. So this coach tells me, she's like, you want a what? I was like, I want to do a pageant. She's like, have you ever done one? No. Oh. And she's like, well, and she's like looking at me and she's like, you just had a baby. I said, and it's just, so we went on this journey of doing it. And she's like, you're well aware that most women take a year to prep for this, right? Because it's not it's like ordering dinner. You just don't do that. Like, let's go to this restaurant. It's a pageant, And I was like, yeah, but I'm going to do it. I could do it. So she believed in me and we got working and hustling. And that's when I got working I learned how to put on makeup. I learned how to do my hair. I was working out with a trainer and getting physically fit. And the biggest part was working with a communication specialist. And that was the hardest one for me. And I was a hot mess. Like if you were to ask me, Yasmine, what was your favorite thing to do? And I was like, well, let me pull out my calendar and I will tell you, I did I do ballet bars, so I love, ballet. And yeah, I love movies because I just went to this one yesterday. And then, oh, yeah, I'm reading this book. I was just a mess. And he's like, why are you looking at your calendar to tell me what you like and who you're about? And that's just how disconnected I was, to be honest, for myself. And so I did the pageant. The communication specialist broke me down, snapped me out of it. And then I went to a women's retreat. And ultimately, it's about your heart. It's, what is the affair of your heart? Where does it sit with you? That's really where it is. So I'm understanding that is the core to it all. I went to a women's retreat and I cried. Probably it made up for all those years of not crying in that one women's retreat, and just really just allowed myself to feel, just broke it down, just put it out there. I just let it all out, hang out there, which was, I had a great supportive environment for that. So I decided to put it out there again, like on the stage, right? So yeah, I did the Mrs. Minnesota pageant, honestly not thinking that I would win, but just I was already winning. I felt in my heart because I was already a changed person. I was already feeling with my daughter. I was crying with my daughter. Like I had already won, but I didn't expect to win. And so when you win Mrs. Minnesota, which I was like, if you see my winning, I'm like what? Probably the ugliest crowning they ever had. But did Mrs. America. So when you win Mrs. Minnesota, you got to go to Mrs. America. And then you got to go to Mrs. World if you win Mrs. America. But in Mrs. America, I didn't expect to even get as far as I did. Out of all the 50 states, I was top 6. Wow. So
nice.
Yeah. And met some really great women along the way. But doing that just, God, I just unleashed everything that I've been harboring and holding inside. And it's been great and liberated. And the thing is, I promised that I would never go back and return to that state or be that person. Like that is so old me. And this is so new me. And it's so good. And I'm so alive and I'm so engaged and I'm so feeling and I'm so present. And that's the only way I will be. That's the only way I will be today.
I love the fact that you said, I already won before they even announced the winner.
Yeah.
I already won. I accomplished what I wanted to do. I got what I wanted out of this pageant. I'm already winning. And then they announce your name. You're like, what? Like, I won one?
Yeah. Yeah. And it's not
great.
that different than like an audition. You already win because you got selected from a group of huge roster of people to show up, and someone is giving you their undivided attention for 5 whole minutes of an audition that is yours. Like they picked you and selecting you as the view, as the TV, as the moment, as all yours. And so I love owning those moments, and those are mine. And that's winning to me. And then when you just say you booked it, you're just like, oh, well then I'll take that too. It's
a win-win.
Yeah.
So focus on gratitude goes far. I love how more so that you won with your family and yourself versus the actual pageant. But I love that you won without following the playbook. And I love that it's an example of you can still win your version of whatever it is. You don't have to follow the playbook. Everyone has followed before you. There's a way. And I love that.
Yeah, I just think, and it's just all that if you really want it, you really can do it. I mean, but I know exactly what I want. I'm very specific, and you can't just be general about what you want. Like be very, very specific. Like I hone in on it. And so, but I knew all those underpinnings of my heart and all those were all just cumulative and in the overall, and all the, the bathing suit and the fitness, and those were all like trinkets and part of it, but the whole picture of your heart. I mean, that wins. I feel like that wins everything in life, not just pageants.
Definitely.
So
I think that's a touchdown we're all trying to get to, whether we realize it or not.
Yeah,
for sure. And it's not that different than cancer. I mean, it's preparation, right? And it's grit and it's showing resilience and it's, you know, doing and moving and shaking and doing like all those parts. So for me, when I was surprised, but not surprised, I was, and you know, I'm a nurse. So part of my brain went into go-go mode. Okay, methodical, like, okay, we do this, we get my team, we go in surgery, we find out our best options, we do the research, we do like all that. But it's not that different than my approach to cancer, to my life. It's just not that different. And, you know, I was thinking like, I was telling you guys, I didn't get the memo that we were wearing pink today, but it's not, this is totally my personality though. I actually refuse to wear pink.
That's great.
October awareness.
And that's great. We're here to support you. We're here to support
Yeah.
you. We're here to support the
And
cause.
I love that you guys are wearing it. But I do just because it doesn't define me. And
Love that.
I had received t-shirts, breast cancer t-shirts. Hey, put this bumper sticker on your car. I am not putting the bumper sticker on my car. And it's not that I'm ignoring it or pretending like I didn't have cancer. It's just like, I don't know. It was a small event, like a cold to me. That's how I treat it. I don't treat it like it's the highlight of it's not even the highlight of my year or let alone my life. And that's not how I treat it. So it's just funny because I'm like, well, had I gotten the memo, actually, I wouldn't have worn pink anyway. I was thinking to myself.
I love that.
Yeah.
Like,
So you're a nurse, you're rocking your nurse, right? And then what happened? Tell us a little bit about what happened when you got diagnosed.
Oh, so I love ballet bar and I was doing a workout and I was laying flat on the yoga mat as we are, you know, cooling down from our workout. And I felt this sharp pain in my chest and it just came out of nowhere. And so I went to touch where the pain was this way. And I felt this huge mass. So I went home and I was just like, okay, I have no idea what this is. I do have masses in my breast anyway, because I'm very cysts. I have a lot of cysts any which way. So I thought it was one, but boy, this was kind of a bigger than usual one and a painful one. They're usually not like this. So honestly, it took me probably 2 weeks, 3 weeks to get the nerve to ask my husband to feel it, to just, you need that check to see like, is it just me, or like, am I conjuring this up? Or so I verified with him and I think I knew that it wasn't a good thing, which is why it took me 2 weeks to finally come to terms and address it. So I addressed it with my husband. I said, can you feel this? And he said nothing. His eyes said everything to me when he looked at me. So I was like, okay, now it's time that I can't pretend like this doesn't exist, because now my husband knows it exists, and he's, I have people to hold me accountable, and this is it. So I had just moved to Florida. I didn't even have a doctor yet, nothing. I wasn't even established. That's how fresh and new when we had moved to Florida. But as a mom, you get your girls set up, and my kids had pediatricians already, and they were all set to go, and they had their dentist, but not me. Well, it took me another at least 2 months to get established with a doctor. And I finally went, and he was just like, yeah, I feel that. Let's just go to an OB-GYN. Go to the OB-GYN. Literally, he gets me in like the next day. So he's moving swiftly on it. And I appreciate the customer service, but I think he knew that it was concerning for him. So I went to the OB-GYN. He too was concerned. But he said, okay, mammogram, let's go tomorrow. Get down there. So I go down there, and it's so like impromptu and fast that I don't have childcare. So I bring my littlest one with me, and she sits in the weight room, and I disrobe and I put the robe on, and there's a questionnaire, like all these things you have to answer before you get into the mammogram, before they see the squish of the boobies. And when I was doing the mammogram, the tech was very upset with me. She was like, wait, you told me, did you not fill out the form? I said, yeah. She's like, okay, so you clearly say you don't have discharge. I said, right. And she's like, well, you have it now. And so she's like, hands me a tissue. And I look down and there's blood coming out of my breast. And so I was just like, wow. And as a nurse, I'm like, this is not supposed to be happening. And this can't be good. So she was not kind and just frustrated. And I think maybe it was exposure to bodily fluids. I'm not really sure, but she was not kind. So I went, she's like, well, we need to go get this, go sit in the weight room and we're going to look at this mammogram. And the doctor's right here on site and we'll be able to tell you what's on it. And I said, okay. So she comes and gets me and she sees my daughter and she is complete change, like kindness, skits down, hello, like to my daughter. I'm like, why? And you know, when you're a nurse, you know what that flip is, that flip of, you know, something patient doesn't know. And you just want to give that extra nice touch. That's what clearly I knew was happening to me. And without anything being said, and they would not reveal, and I would ask, and they said, we're just not sure. This requires more assessing. We're going to send you to a specialist. Now you need a specimen. Now we need this. And they're just diving deeper without telling me anything. And I just knew. But I got my results and I came in for an appointment with my husband and I had, and they just flat sat me at a table and said, so we have your results, we have the specimen, and you have cancer. And I was just like, wow. And I just had my birthday. I was, I think 41-ish. And I was just like, really? And yeah, it was just, but I went into go mode. I went into a mode of, all right, if I could have anything, this is one of the most biggest research. I have one of the most treatment options is for breast cancer. So I didn't see it as a doom and gloom diagnosis, but it was a definite call to action. And I knew I had options. So I didn't go into the freak out mode. Although, you know, everyone around me was falling apart. They were, yeah. And so I just think that's when your grit and your resilience and your love of life and your gratitude for life and your fight fires. I was firing on all cylinders about where I was going and the direction I was headed. And that's towards a cure and living and being done with this and putting it to bed once and for all. So that to me meant a double mastectomy, even though it was only in one breast. That means to me, going all the way. Chemo was optional. And then they took more, I was to stage 0, but I went to a stage 1 because it was more aggressive than they thought. And they're like, listen, chemo's optional. You're stage 1. Do it if you want. Don't. The data is 50-50. And I was like, chemo, let's just do it. Put it to bed. So that's just my nature, is aggressively conservative. I just do what it takes. So now I feel like because I have a double mastectomy, I didn't need it. The doctor tried to talk me out of it. I only had it in one breast. I was like, take them both off. It's okay. I'm done with kids. Why would I sit and burden myself with this worry and wonderment of it's here? Like, oh, could I get in the other one? And then you have to go every year for the mammograms. I'm like, I don't want any of that. I'm about low maintenance and I'm about free and burden free and going. I just want to go. And that doesn't, if I didn't do what I did, the chemo, if I didn't go the extra mile and all those things and taking them both my breasts, I couldn't go. I would be like walking through life with the brakes on. And that's just not how I want to be. And I refuse to be. That's just not my gig. That's maybe for somebody else. It's not for me. So.
Wow. Just
a lot of lessons
go
there.
for it. Just do it. Just let's get it out of the way.
Take
Get
it.
done. Take it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But don't take ownership like, okay, so this is the fate of my life. You didn't do that. You just steamrolled through it to I don't know, just full-hearted, like you believed there's a better outcome.
sure.
Let's find it. And
I love
go,
your,
like that.
your approach that you
take
took of
that
eliminating that thing that's going to just be sitting there lingering in your mind. You're just like, get rid of it so I can move on, so that you don't have that in the back of your head moving forward, holding you back. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think clarity is
Yeah.
so huge. I mean, I just don't like walking in a cloud and limbo and unsure. And I mean, I'm just all in. I want to be all in, but you can't be all in if you have that. And I know there are things in life that you can't, there are always going to be unsure, like the timing of your death or whatever that may be. But the clarity, as much as I can control, oh, I certainly will. I certainly will. So yeah, whatever I can take in my hands, I will to shape and form and to create that path of clarity, for sure.
It's that relentless mindset of we're going to get it done no matter what. And
Oh,
I'm going to get to where I want to be, where I'm comfortable with myself and I feel good without having those lingering thoughts in my head.
yeah. Living it with no apologies. No apologies. And
None.
I am, I have a very low threshold for anything less than that, to be honest. I cut it all out. I cut fat out of my life. People, circumstances, just any of those things. I don't sit and wonder and it's now. Take the steps and take care of what you need to do now. It's just, I'm a now girl. And I think I have some faults. I'll be honest. Like, I don't always think through things all the way, but I think it through enough to be like, this is the direction I'm headed at. Yeah, I'm going to go with this. And then there's some people that like really think it through. And I'm a doer.
But that's
admittedly,
benefited you a lot.
I'm a leaper. And I'll tell you, I've leapt in some really bad mud ponds and like areas, but I don't know. I'm okay with that because I know I could just wipe it off and then I'm back on the pedestal and then where's my leap? I don't know. Leaps. I enjoy the leaps of faith that I have.
So you
I
conquered
embrace
breast
them.
cancer. You're like, boom, slash it. Done.
Yeah.
Get it out of here. What's
Yep.
next? What's
Outta
next for
here.
Yasmine after that? You decide to do what? You decide to give up nursing and
I did. I love like surgery and pediatric pulmonology, and I really enjoy being a service to others, especially when someone is down and out in their lowest place. I think that's the biggest hand you can lift for them is in medicine, especially being that and I love the specialty and I'm a science geek. I love that stuff, but I do have this crazy blend of the science and the arts. I've always known my whole life. And so when I went to college, I was at Loyola in Chicago and I was doing, and my mom was like, she showed up on set and I was mortified with my 3 siblings. And they were like, who shows up on set with your mom shows up on set to basically your mom shows up to work with your brothers and sisters. And I was just like, and she told me basically, stop what you're doing, get your head out of the clouds and finish your degree and focus on nursing or medicine, because you'll always have a job. You'll never be out of work and you can be independent. And I was just like, fine. So yeah, I mean, I did nursing and I have an active license and I could always fall back on it. But, I just literally renewed it. I was going out without a license for a while because I'm okay without my plan B. I was all in my plan A, which has been modeling, acting, and hosting for the last, after doing Mrs. Minnesota is how I got picked up. It was published, it was on TV, it was published in papers, and that's how I got picked up. And ultimately, that was the end in mind. There are a couple ends in mind. It was perhaps being that model actress, but the bigger one was my heart and putting it out there and just feeling more. And that was a nice side benefit if I could have that. Well, that I could have that, did have it. So it was great. I got picked up and that's how it just steamrolled. And I was in limbo. I was kind of like doing the nursing thing, but dabbling in the acting and modeling and going out for jobs whenever they came up. But there was a point where it just took over and I could no longer get my shifts covered as a nurse. The doctors were like, hey, we haven't seen you in a while. I mean, thanks for like being an employee, but like, you're like the ghost employee. Like, where the heck are you? I'm like, I know I'm working so like, so it started going into a direction and joyfully where I would have to do it full time. And I came to a point where I had to choose one or the other. So I chose the host, modeling, and acting. I could always do nursing, right? It's always there. Why not this? So I decided about 4 years ago to go full time. And this is all I do. I don't do real estate on the side. This is all I do. And I feel that when I was all in and focused on this one thing, because I can be everywhere. I'm a whole lot of destructible of a personality. But when I was all in, it really worked. I was booking. I was completely open to it. My schedule was open. My agents loved it. I made myself available and only available for it. It was such a great, perfect fit for my life, and I could raise my girls. But just becoming an actress. I'm a commercial actress, super easy work for me to be a commercial actress, booking the heck out of everything, just really strong booker, hosting from products to mostly products. Yeah. People, interviewing people and things of that nature. And then modeling, commercial modeling mostly, and lifestyle model and, things of that sort. So I've been a part of some really great campaigns, and now it's the TV film industry is the next step. And the industry is speaking and responding, and it's been very favorable. So I've been starting to land roles, and it's been great. Just putting my head out there and just giving it a try and being all in. So it's been great. That's what I've been doing.
And that resilience, just pay everything that you've talked about, Miss Minnesota, the breast cancer, the acting, the modeling, it all threads back. I see the thread just looping together by that resilient thread. That I'm gonna
Ricardo.
go for it. I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna okay, fine. I'm gonna stop this and I'm gonna go full force this way and let's go.
We know that resonates with Ricardo, the relentless mindset.
Shoot, Ricardo, I didn't think about it that way. But yeah, I mean, if that's my nature, this is the perfect career for that, a personality and a person like that who takes leaps of faith and just who gets told. I mean, if you guys know, it's the industry where you get told no the most. And it's you just have to like pick up your feelings and go on. But I don't take it personally. But yeah, you definitely have to have that grit, resilience, that push that says, no, not today. But it's tomorrow, though, as another day and a new shot, So, yeah, I guess I didn't think about it that way. And that's it was a natural course for me, but I didn't put the dots together,
That's the
connecting
natural
the
you.
dots. I guess so.
Jesse says, I love that you didn't allow the cancer diagnosis to hold you back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Jesse.
Absolutely.
Yes.
You're going to conquer the movie world and Hollywood just like you did everything else in your life.
Yes, sirree. That's the plan.
Going back to what you said earlier about you're getting those wins even when you're told no.
Yes.
You get the win just because you got called in, or you get the win because whatever, you're finding the wins in what the world would consider losses. They're not losses for you. So I think that's really cool too.
Yeah, it's perspective. I mean, we're already walking this earth, and it's like my grandfather meant. And I think it's really crazy because I'm a female version of my grandfather, I feel, and I can hear him in the back of my head. And my uncle is very much the same, but it's just every day it's how you doing? It's a good day, my grandfather would say, and in his Puerto Rican voice. And so it is a good day. And why is it a good day? Because I could wake up, that I'm breathing, that the sun is shining. And if you're so grateful for those small basics of life, just a beating heart, everything else is like icing. It really is. And then you don't fret on the other stuff because the basics are you're just so in. You're like, yes, I have it. I'm living, I'm breathing today. It's a great day. And everything else is booking. Great. Dinner out, fabulous. It's just
Yeah. Now that's okay. So we know you're human. So we know you aren't 120% always that in that grateful mindset. But when you aren't, having been through just a lot of stress in your life, what are your best tips for women or for everyone to just kind of, how do you reframe it? Or how do you kind of shift when you are having a bad moment to make that more of your norm where you are grateful all the time? How do you learn how to do that?
wow, I'm solution focused. And I just always think with an end in mind. So let me see, for example. So my daughter said okay, so they're in this Catholic school and they want to hem their skirts up, like above what they're supposed to,
Uh-oh.
clearly. And so she's like, Mom, I just want to hem my skirt up. And I was like, no, hold on. That's maybe not, I don't know where I'm going with this. Hold on. Well, I don't know. But it's perspective. I just gained perspective and was solution oriented. And I said, so no, flat out, no, we're not doing that. Because I don't want detention notices to hear that your skirt's too high. But, she was really pushing back on it. And it's not her nature. She's just very sweet, obedient little lady. And she was defiant. And so my natural state was to be like mama bear, be like, no, mama says no, but then I was just like, okay, let's sit down and talk about it. And she's like, you just don't understand. It's more than a skirt. So I said, okay, help me understand. So reframing it and just saying, breathing, taking a moment and saying, the situation might be bigger than a hem skirt. There's probably more to this, which is exactly what it was. And so I have moved 7 times. This is our 7th move into Atlanta. And my girls are just trying to not stick out like a sore thumb. And they were sticking out like a sore thumb because this hem length of their skirt was so long. It's the newest skirt they just put out that is longer than everybody else's. And they are said, Mom, we're just trying to fit in. We're just trying to be. And do you realize that we're just trying to acclimate ourselves to our new environment and the kids and just not be as obvious that we're the newbies when we are. And the skirt is just part of that. It's one part of many things that would help us feel better. And I was like, all right. So my girls now have hem skirts. But it's reframing and thinking that it's bigger than you, and being solution focused, and realizing that, okay, my daughter was out of character. Something more just said, just investigate. And so, yeah, it's those kinds of things. And being solution.
Yeah.
We have an amicable resolution now.
There you go.
Hem your skirts, everybody.
Sometimes things are more important than
fine.
the length of your skirt. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
That's
worth
so
the
good, though.
detention.
That's so good though. Look beyond the horizon. Look beyond the initial problem, the initial situation, and look beyond that because there's something else there.
Yeah, I think there's a cause and effect, right? There's probably something that precipitated that you're dealing with. So look beyond this and what perhaps precipitated that. Yes. And then
it's so hard though. Oh my goodness, it's so hard.
Yeah, when you're in the depths of it, for sure.
Woo, like my 7-year-old, my son Sebastian.
Yeah.
He'll find this is my nerve. He'll walk up to it. He'll look at it and he'll be like, and I'm just like, bro, like, come on, man. Like, stop. But that's where we get reactive. That's where I go into Papa Bear and I'm like, right? And instead of looking at the solution and being like, okay, why is he doing this? What's going on here? What does he need? Is something going on? Am I not doing something that he's expecting from me to do? That he has to go to this to get my attention?
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, that's my approach. I don't know. Do you guys have approaches that you can share?
You nailed one of them. I mean, I was joking with Ricardo the other day that "Be Where Your Feet Are" needs to be the show's tagline. I think it comes up just about every episode, but just stop, breathe, be where your feet are. And if you can get yourself into the moment, the rest dissolves. It doesn't necessarily dissolve. You get an accurate perspective of it because your future's just now stacked thousands of times, right? So yeah, we're big on the now. And just whatever you have to do as an individual to get yourself right here, right now, then ask a better question. Don't panic yourself into digging an even deeper black hole that technically didn't exist before you got into this, downward spiral. So just the power and be where your feet are, be here now. But yeah, you had touched on that. And I was like, it's like our tagline, but you didn't say in the quite same words, but yeah, if you can, but now, like, I love your emphasis on the word now. Cause like now is all you have. Like one of us might croak in 5 minutes. We don't truly know, but our mindset now is the beauty and the gift that when you wake up every day and you are given another day, like I know it sounds cheesy and I know there are people probably rolling your eyes, but man, if you can get to where every time you wake up, you're like, okay, thank you. And what magic am I going to create today? Whatever that looks like. And I don't know, bring magic in. Like I'm a big fan of like, stop thinking it's this mundane, dull world because you're missing everything. So that's just my soapbox. I'll stop. I didn't expect to talk that long, but yeah.
Yeah. But talking about like gratitude, I was just talking to a friend. And so with Glenn, actually, Ricardo, and
man.
I was, how there's the make your bed.
Yeah.
You make your bed every morning and, it sets the tone for the rest of your day and all that. But it's, my make the bed is getting dressed up every day. So he called last night and it literally, I think it was midnight. And I was like, still like I am now. Well, where are you going? I'm like, I'm not going anywhere. I'm in my house, like chilling and working on my computer. And he's like, oh, you're being Yasmine. And being Yasmine means I get up and I dress up for every day. Like I mean it. Like it's the only thing I have guaranteed is today. So we get up and we dress up for occasions like coming on today or a wedding or birthdays. And you put on your nice Sunday clothes in respect. And so that's being respectful of who you're celebrating. But I celebrate me, I celebrate the day, and I literally put on my face, put on my outfit, and I dress up every day. I literally don't even own sweatpants because I don't lounge. Like I'm always in my wardrobe. If you look in my closet, it's all upscale casual. It's all like blazers or colors or something more refined because that's how I treat every day and that's how I dress it up. So that's my respect and that's my feel good. And I just work on it until I like what I see in the mirror and then I'm off to the races. Well, that's my daily, that's my make my bed.
That's a good one.
I think that's like with COVID and people working from home. I've heard that so much where people get in that lounge mode and that's one thing I've worked on myself lately is get up, get dressed, put my makeup on. Sometimes it's, depending on what I've got going on in the day, it might be 11 by the time I do it, but I do it. I've tried to get into a habit of doing it every day because you feel better and you feel productive instead of feeling like I'm going to watch one more Netflix show on the couch. It
and
just
plus on top of that, you're ready.
Yes.
You're always ready.
Yes. So if something comes up, you can go.
Power of being prepared.
And you're ready to say yes to whatever comes your way because you're ready. You're ready, looking good, fly. You're ready to go. Like, so yeses come easily to me because that's part of my preparation. And I'm set up for the day. So yeah.
Are you prepared for your yes?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Are you prepared for your yes?
Yes, Ricardo. Yes.
Because
I
right
like
here,
Yasmine being like yes, and her name's Yasmine. I'm like that's
because right here,
right there.
Yasmine, you're prepared for your yes because of how you're living your life. If someone messaged you right now, you got an email, hey, can you pop on for this audition in 10 minutes? Are you available? What's the answer? Yes. Because I'm ready. I'm prepared for my yes.
It's like putting opportunities on. I just realized this as you were talking to Yasmine, Ricardo, but like it's like you're putting just the green light for opportunities every day, because more opportunities will come. Whereas if you did stay in the sweatpants, you're putting an auto block on for opportunities. Granted, you can work hard and fight through, but like you're naturally putting on your confidence and so by nature, more opportunities will flow your way. So just shout out to those of us who like to lounge around in yoga pants all weekend.
I do
So,
like to do
Yasmine,
that
what
sometimes.
is-
Pants, people, burn them.
Well,
So
that might be
Yeah-
really therapeutic. I like to play with fire for my
Yasmine
reasons.
Yasmine has been on several commercials. She's done several spots.
Yes.
What's the one product that you would like to do a commercial for that you haven't been called for yet?
Ooh.
Do you have a thing that you just would love to be a spokesman for, that you would like to be a part of?
I so would love, I'd like to have my own show. In truth, I have a natural curiosity for life and things, and I think I don't have the best filter, but maybe that's okay.
I think
But
so.
I would love that. Like just being so I'm thinking about my own, well, I've already prepped it, but I'm just terrible with consistency. Some aspects of my life I am, but it's just consistently putting content out there. But that would be my dreamy thing right now. That's what I would say. Yeah, natural curiosities and just so so I'll just share my little. So it's called Yasmine Does. Ellipses, right? Yasmine does what? Yasmine does cooking, like she's trying to cook Italian, which I'm really not good at. And then just like I'm trying because I'm that leaping kind of girl. So Yasmine does what? She tries to change her own tire. Yasmine does what? She's going on vacation and to this new hotel. Yasmine does this new hotel. It's like Yasmine does what in life, or Yasmine tells you what's on her heart. Like I'm loving that idea of putting it out there and just exploring all the curiosities of life. And maybe that you guys want to come along on the journey. Maybe I'll bring you guys on.
I love that. Like that's what the world is so hungry for. It's vulnerability. Like just walk us through, it's vlog channels are so popular. Just show us a raw day, not the polished Facebook post, And so I love that. So you got my vote.
I'm going to Sebastian you. This is what I call Sebastian you.
What is that?
Do it, do it, do it, do it, do it, do it.
Oh my gosh. Adorable.
Like when we don't feel like doing something, he busts out, do it. Like seriously, that's gonna motivate me. Do it. And then he doesn't stop until guess what? Until you do it.
You do it.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, wow,
Sounds
that
just
actually
like Ricardo's
works.
son.
That actually works. So, like you can motivate people. Big shout out, Glenn. Good morning from Atlanta. Love you,
Hi,
Glenn.
Glenn.
Hello, Glenn.
I want to go back to what John said earlier. He said leaps without faith would be reckless, and add faith and you add purpose with intention. I think that's cool. And that ties into what you do, your leaps of faith. You got to have faith in there.
Absolutely.
You found the fun in the leap. Like that's what fascinated me as you were talking this morning, was that you found a fun aspect in the, we don't know, it's a yes or no. So if like you fell in love with that part, because like you said, the audition's already a win. This is already a win. Fill in the blank. That's already a win. You woke up today. That's already a win. So I learned a lot from like you added the fun to the leap right there. We forget
It's
that
like
fun. Like when we were kids, we just jump and it was fun.
And you've got faith that it's going to be fun. One way or another, you get something out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you know what, Yasmine? I think that if you go about doing your show, Yasmine Does, the way that you go about life in general, there is no doubt that it would be a total success.
Well, thanks. Thank
None
you.
at all. So besides that, what else are you working on? Is there anything that we need to tell the world about?
I'm working on, well, I just signed with a new agent in Chicago. So literally I'm from Chicago and I fly there often to visit my family and check on mommy. And so in going there, realized on the plane on a Friday, I flew in, I said, why am I not signed in Chicago when I'm already here and this would be easy, and I travel for work and I go the extra mile. I say no, I go places for jobs, right? Like go out of state all the time. Why do I not sign with the place that I'm there often too, like my second home? And I think I was afraid of overloading, or I was playing small maybe in a way, or thought maybe I wasn't enough. I'm not sure. I don't have typically those moments, a lot of those, but I think subconsciously I was kind of like, who would sign me in Chicago? I don't know. But I decided I would make a contact and reach out. So on a Friday on the plane, on Monday, I had an appointment in Chicago, or Friday I got confirmation of the Monday appointment, showed up to the Monday appointment in Chicago and showed up 15 minutes early, because early is on time, people. And literally, I had not taken my mask off, and she's like, I already love you. I was like, well, do you want me to take my mask off? But she had gotten my portfolio and stuff right then. But she knew what I looked like and my resume. But yeah, it's just, I am gearing up for greatness and setting myself up for opportunities, and just propping myself up with any of those opportunities that will be coming my way. And so I'm at a point in my career where I'm actually declining submissions and auditions because I'm just choosing bigger roles now. Bigger roles are coming, and I want to focus on those and not the little jobs here and there and submissions that are going to take away my focus. So for the first time in my career, I'm actually turning down submissions. So that's a big step too, and just getting to film. But TV film, I'd love to do that. And I'm getting a lot of great submissions. So I'm really feeling it in my bones. Something's coming up. Something's a stirring, guys. Watch me on the big film. But
It's
yeah.
coming.
Yeah.
Like the minute that you said that, Yasmine, like I feel it, like it's coming.
It really
It's
is.
coming.
I
Yeah.
feel it.
I feel it.
I
And
can't
here,
even explain it.
here it is right here. Yasmine is the cover gal for Strong Women magazine.
Oh, thank you, Glenn.
Oh.
Strong Woman magazine, if you're listening, come find Yasmine. If not,
Yeah.
let's publish it.
Yes, let's make one up.
But-
They're not.
But it's coming
But-
though. Like I feel it. Like if you're gonna go about this the way that you've gone about everything else, Miss Minnesota, the nurse, and everything else that you've gone through in your life, even the hem skirt scenario, there is no doubt that it's going to happen.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're choices.
You're
They're
gonna
my
make it
choices.
happen.
Yeah.
So thank you.
I choose
Yasmine.
yes. You're welcome.
You
Thanks
gotta
for
choose
having
yes.
me.
You gotta choose yes.
Yes, absolutely.
You got to choose yes, right?
Yeah.
This
For
was
you,
such a-
do you, by you. Just all you. Yes. I love
Yes.
that. Thank you. It was
Mhm.
such a pleasure to hear your story,
Yes.
Yasmine. Thank
Oh,
you.
thank you for
was.
having
so
me.
much.
And
Oh,
to
I loved
book
it.
Yasmine, she, like she said earlier, she's only taken big roles, but you can still reach out to her and contact her at yasmineryback.com.
I just have one quick question.
Tell
Does
me.
that mean that Force for Growth Live is a big role?
Ah,
Perspective is everything.
Thank you for booking with us.
yes, thank you.
Yes, it is.
Your story is amazing. I love it. From everything that you shared, all this little, just giving us a little window to your life has been amazing.
Oh, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for having me and allowing me to share.
So this was great. Thank you so much, Yasmine.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yes. And to end it on a pink note, just especially if you do know anyone who has struggled with breast cancer, is struggling with it right now, is in remission, whatever, send them the link to this episode and just, yeah, thank you for elaborating on just the emotional, the side we don't get to see when we
Mm.
people have an outcome or not, you know, so.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and say it since the three of you are not saying it. Go get checked, ladies.
Yes, yes.
Like,
Check the boobies. Yeah,
Check the
Hello?
tatas.
yes.
go
Yeah.
get them checked. If you feel anything funny, crazy, abnormal, go get checked.
Yeah. They
Yeah.
pop up a lot quicker than you think.
Yes, yes. And then come back and watch this episode to learn how to handle it.
Yes.
Because there is no doubt in my mind, Yasmine, that 80% of your success there was the mindset.
Yeah.
That I am going into warrior mode. I'm not going to let this get me down. And I'm going to survive this and I'm going to conquer it just like I conquered anything else in my life.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yes.
Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. Again, trying to sign off for the second time today. Have a great day, and we'll be back on Monday.
Bye.